singing praises about music, I'm horribly depressed and playing video games. But I've come to notice that certain Hedgehog's games have some interesting musical choices. Ones that I do enjoy, but left me bamboozled because they develop the character way better than the story does. What's up, guys? It is, of course, Mateer here, and it's time to show how music can develop a character. I'm going to cut to the chase here. Shadow the Hedgehog and Infinite are quite possibly the most edgy characters I've ever seen. I really don't know which one is edgier, but I do know which one's more poorly written. Infinite, in his 16 minutes of total screen time, not counting boss fights, is a very underdeveloped and phoned-in villain. His motives are unclear and his hatred of the world isn't explained. This jackal was beaten by Edgy the Hedgy, called weak and pathetic, and left to die. So what do you do in this situation? Put on a mask and vow to never show your face because, I don't know, it's very unclear. Maybe his theme could shed some light on this mask of darkness.
Tallest of mountains, I am the roughest of waves. I'm the toughest of terrors, I am the darkest of days. I'm the last one that's standing, don't try to stand in my way, cause I've been up against better, just take a look at my face. Cause if you're messing with me, I am a dangerous weapon. I am the sharpest of blades, I'll cut you down in a second. Cause I was born in this pain, it only hurts if you let it. So if you think you can take me, then you should go and forget it. And after all this time, you're back for more. I won't stop until they know my name. So take what's mine and start this war. I'm coming at you like a tidal wave. When everything you know has...
Okay, well, the songs have certainly gotten stranger, especially with the Blade comparison, but it shows what kind of character Infinite is. What he thinks of himself, his power with the Phantom Ruby, I think is what they called it. I don't fucking know, I didn't play the game. But you can tell how really full of himself he is. The chorus continues this development.
When everything you know has come and gone, it's dying, rising high. Only scars remain of the world. We're finding the ashes into the sun, and there's no one left to carry. This is an illusion. Open up your eyes. This pain persists. I can't resist. Well, that's what it takes to be infinite. So look around you and tell me what you really see. I never lived, and that's the difference in you and me. Cause when your time is up and everything is falling down, it's only me and you who is gonna save you now. So look around you and tell me what you really see. You live a lie, and that's the difference in you and me. I have the power, let me show you what it's all about. It's only me and you who is gonna save you now.
Infinite is a character caught in a pit of self-hatred. His need to prove himself to himself is what drives him, or more accurately, his need to prove himself to Shadow. Shadow created the monster present in the game. In a way, the song mirrors Fist Bump in the way that Infinite believes that he's able to do all these things by himself. He only needs the Phantom Ruby to crush his opposition. But what about Shadow himself? He's a bit more complex, as his memory is faulty depending on what game you're talking about. So let's focus on his character in his own game, Shadow the Hedgehog. Now, because I wanted to spare my pain of looking for that damn fourth Chaos Emerald, I decided to continue playing Sonic Mania to gather footage because I really don't enjoy looking at Shadow the Hedgehog, and Sonic Mania is really fucking good. Shadow the Hedgehog is quite the interesting game, a Frankenstein really. The idea was so mind-boggling and quite frankly dumb that 10-year-old me loved the game. I only ever did the neutral route to completion, and the song that plays over the credits develops this Shadow's character beautifully. The song was one of my personal favorites from the franchise. This song tells us more about Shadow as a character than any game truly did. Here's a snip of it. song tells us that in this path, that Shadow has regrets for something in his past. He wants to be someone else. He doesn't enjoy his existence, as edgy as this sounds. But he is the chosen one this time around. He knows that in the end, he's the big game changer. Everyone is fighting for his aid in all of these levels. He doesn't want to be Shadow the Hedgehog, but he knows he can't change that. Wish I may, wish I might. He's the only one that could do this, but not without keeping things to himself.
I can't remember what I used to be. Some things turning me upside down. You made me, and I love you, but I can't change the things I've done. I'm the chosen one.
Shadow does some pretty terrible things in this game, and you can go down to the neutral route from any point in the game, as long as you're in the third last level. You may not reach the true neutral ending, but you can reach the final level of the neutral route. In the dark route, Shadow annihilates a city by setting off 5 different bombs. Shadow is a full-blown terrorist in that route, but if you choose to recognize that your actions are wrong, the line, "but I can't change the things I've done," becomes the most relevant. He's killed dozens of innocent people and dozens of soldiers of Black Doom and the USA alike, and he can't go back and change that. No matter how much power he can get from that damn 4th Chaos Emerald, he can't turn back time. Yet. These two songs about two characters and their struggles are truly their backstory. Rather than the games creating the backstory, they let the music take over and demonstrate what these characters are about. It is my firm belief that both of these characters are deeply depressed in their own ways, and this depression fuels their power. Infinite uses his pain because that's what it takes to be infinite. He can't resist it. He was born into this pain. Shadows comes from his troubling past and actions he's done, and he uses it to fuel his power to attempt to do the right thing his way. He sometimes wishes he was never born at all. He never turns back.